Hey, hockey card fans. Welcome back to Hockey Night in Belmont. I got some cards from eBay from one seller, Chris of the North Collectibles. I bought some cards from him, probably paid anywhere from $20 to $30. Can't remember exactly what they were. They're all from the early 70s, these cards are. And they were actually in really good shape. I could have got them a little cheaper, but I screwed up when I bid on them because some of them I just made an offer and he accepted, but then eBay for some reason charged me shipping right away, and then I forgot about one that I actually bid on. And the irony is my wife was in the area he's from, so I could have got free shipping. I just had him met somewhere with my wife and kids and picked them up there. But anyway, let's go over these. So these are from two different seasons. The first one is from the 1969-70 stat year, so these are the 1970 cards. They're called the movie star cards because they have these little flash bulbs surrounding them. And the first card I got is New York Rangers left winger Vic Hatfield. So you can see what I mean. They have these little flash bulbs, so they look like movie stars. And they are a very light green back. They're all O-PEECHEE. I don't collect tops. Vic Hatfield was a really good player with the Rangers. Went to a Stanley Cup with them in '72, but they lost to the Bruins. He was part of the Summit Series in '72 against the Russians, but he left after he got to Russia. He just was getting less and less playing time. He was complaining too much. And he was worried because the Rangers had given him a really good contract because he had a really good year. And he didn't want to get hurt. There's a lot of stories about that. Why he really left. But really frustration for the most part. Because you're putting together a team of all-stars. And not all, because they're all all-stars on their own teams. No one likes to sit. And in some cases, someone's got to sit and be on that third, fourth line. And Hatfield was feeling out of place. Plus old rivalries with other players. You know, Boston, New York just had a huge 6-game series in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So a lot of bad blood there. Anyway, next up, card number 64, right winger, New York Rangers, Ron Stewart. I really don't know much about him, but he played 18 years in the league, so he's probably played for more than just a few teams. Not exactly a goal scorer. Only scored 14 goals the last year. Vic Hatfield had 20 that year. But he would hit some milestones with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So going back to Hatfield real quick. He did play for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the mid-70s before retiring. And had some really good years with them. But I don't know much about Ron Stewart. Then we got card 160, the LA Kings rookie card, Mike Byers. I don't know much about him. He only has 2 cards, his rookie card in the next year. He didn't play very much. And actually he has not in the NHL at this point. So this guy gets a rookie card without ever playing an NHL game. Go figure. These cards are in really good shape. The corners are good. There are no creases, no real dings, and it's just they're in very good shape. These cards are. Then we go with card 161, LA Kings right winger Bill Flett. Bill Flett played for a lot of teams. He did play for the Philadelphia Flyers, where he won a Stanley Cup with them in '74. Then he went to the Maple Leafs in '75. Didn't really like it there, so he headed to the WHA. Played for the Edmonton Oilers. That I know of, anyway. And then when he did return to the NHL and played a couple more years with the Oilers before hanging them up or going to the minors. Some guys just disappear and they head for the minors. They play the rest of their careers out in the minors. But as far as NHL goes, he was done by '81. So there we have it. 4 cards from the 1970 O-PEECHEE set. The movie star set, really good shape. 1 rookie card. Vic Hatfield would be the only star, but but he's not as well known as others of his generation. Guys like Esposito, Cornwall. So we got 4 cards from that set. And then next we got from the 1970-71 stat year. So the 1971 O-PEECHEE set. I call these the portrait ones, because they just have a circle and the guy's face in the middle. So we'll start with New York Rangers left winger, Vic Hatfield. So I got 2 Vic Hatfield cards. He had 22 goals that year. Consistent 20 goal scorer. I think he had 48 one year when he was with the Rangers. Was his highest total. I'd have to go back and check on that. But a really good player. So you see what I mean by the portrait series? You know, they get this ring around it, and then the players in the middle of the portrait. So I call it the portrait set. Yeah, the movie star set and the portrait set. This one has all the stats, which is good. The year before, they didn't really have, the stats really sucked. So for Vic Hatfield, you can see that it shows how many seasons he's with, the team he's on now, and then the goals, assists, and penalty minutes. They don't even have point totals. So that was really a weird set, I think. This card's in good shape as well. Next up, we have LA Kings right winger rookie card, Al McDonough. He had only played 6 games and had 2 goals and an assist, but still gets a card. Gotta love the hair too. Don't know much about him. I know he played for a few other teams other than the Kings. It might have even been in the WHA. Not exactly a household. That guy wasn't exactly a household name. Then I have Toronto Maple Leafs defenseman Brian Glennie. This name I know. He was part of the Summit Series as well, I believe. But didn't play a lot of games that I know of. And wasn't exactly a goal scorer or a point getter. He was just a solid defenseman. Played in Toronto for a lot of years and then got traded to the LA Kings. And that's where I know that he finished his career as far as I know of. Because I've had a couple of his cards from the late 70s. Don't think he ever won a Stanley Cup, as this was only his 2nd year in Toronto. And finally, card 199 of this same series, we have Don Marshall, Toronto Maple Leafs left winger. He had actually played for the Montreal Canadiens and the New York Rangers. He won some Stanley Cups with the Montreal Canadiens. I know that, because he played through Montreal through most of the 60s. And he definitely would have won a cup or 2. He was with Montreal from 1951 all the way up to 1963. So he might have been part of that 5 in a row Stanley Cups. He probably was. Have to check that. Then he went to the Rangers, and then finally finished his career with the Leafs. I don't know how long he lasted with the Leafs. The Leafs seemed to go through a lot of players in the 70s. But it seems like a lot of players played for Toronto in the 70s and left. Bill Flett left. They had Jacques Plante at one time. They had Eddie Johnson. Just a lot of guys they had. But Don Marshall definitely won a few Stanley Cups with Montreal. So there we have it. Just 8 cards. Chris of the North Collectibles is a pretty decent guy, I thought. He refunded me some of the money that I used for shipping, because eBay was really weird how they did this. I made an offer, and then as soon as he accepted, they eBay dinged me the shipping right away. It was already, I didn't even do anything. So it was definitely, and then he refunded me some money back for that, which is kind of nice. And then I forgot that I actually had this Mike Byers card was a bid I won, so it got shipped separately. And like I said, my wife was in that area that he's from and could have easily met him. Her and my kids could easily met him and picked up the cards for. But what can you do? It's one of those things. You never know where a seller's coming from. But I definitely recommend buying from this guy. Seemed pretty cool when I did talk to him, via messages. And he had lots of stuff. I would have bought more if I would definitely have bought more from him. But anyway, 8 cards. Good find on eBay. I'm just starting to collect the movie star set. So I don't have a lot of them. I think I have 27, 28 cards from that set. But the portrait series, I have over 100, around 150 cards, because I went to St. Jacobs and just cleaned house over there. So that'll help complete that set. But anyway, hey, hockey card fans out there, let me know what set you guys are collecting, and what do you think? Do you like the movie card set or the portrait set better? Let me know in the comment section. Until next time, this has been Hockey Night in Belmont.